Welcome to your channel, Joni Agario.
The creation of the Jinn and the fall of Iblis. The first tale of fire. Thousands of years ago, in an age unlike the age of humans, the earth was home to a hidden world unseen by any living eye. A world inhabited by a creature born from fire, swift, unseen, and mysterious. They were the Jinn. But the story does not begin with the Jinn alone. It begins long before them. Chapter 1. The first inhabitants of the earth. Ibn Kathir in Al-Bidayah wal-Nihaya mentions ancient beings who lived on earth before the Jinn, known as Al-Hin and Al-Bin. These creatures were many in number, but they did not preserve the blessing of the earth granted to them. Corruption spread among them, bloodshed increased, and chaos filled the land. And when their corruption reached its peak, their end became inevitable. It was then that Allah created the Jinn. Made from a smokeless flame, pure blazing fire, He placed them on earth after those ancient beings. The Jinn spread across the earth, inhabiting mountains, valleys, plains, and deserts. At first they lived in obedience and order, but time changed them, and soon they began repeating the same corruption as those before them. They fought, oppressed, and shed blood again. Chaos returned to the earth. Chapter 2. The Heavenly Army and its commander, Iblis. Ibn Kathir mentions that Allah sent a host of angels down to the earth to stop the corruption of the Jinn. Leading this army was a creature known for intense worship and devotion. It was Iblis. Yes, Iblis was not an angel. He was from the Jinn, but due to his devotion and long years of worship, he lived among the angels and rose to high ranks until he became one of the most dedicated worshippers. Some narrations mention that his name before his fall was Azazel. Iblis led the angels in a fierce battle against the corrupt Jinn, driving them to the edges of mountains and remote islands of the seas. The earth became nearly empty again. With this great achievement, Iblis rose even higher in status. He began to believe he was superior, that his worship came from his own strength, not from the grace of his Creator. In his heart, pride began to grow quietly, unnoticed by those around him. Chapter 3. The moment that changed all of history. The earth was now prepared for a new creation. Allah created Adam from clay, shaped him, and breathed into him of his spirit. Then He commanded the angels to bow to Adam in honor and respect. All of them bowed, except one, except Iblis. He stood firm, refusing to lower his head to a being made of clay. Pride burst from his chest, and he declared in arrogance, "I am better than him. You created me from fire and created him from clay." At that moment his true nature was revealed. His worship had been only a surface, while his heart was filled with vanity and self-admiration. Chapter 4. The Great Fall. Because of his pride and envy, Iblis fell from the highest ranks to the lowest depths. Allah cursed him, expelled him from His mercy, and stripped him of every status he once had. He transformed from a righteous servant mentioned among the angels into a devil driven by rage and hatred. But Iblis did not accept defeat. He asked Allah to grant him time until the day of judgment, so he could mislead Adam's descendants and prove, according to his claim, that they did not deserve honor. Allah granted his request for a great wisdom, to make him a clear enemy and a test for humanity until the end of time. Conclusion. The lesson of fire and clay. This story is more than ancient history. It is a message that says, the first sin ever committed in creation was caused by pride. Worship without humility becomes a trap. And the fire Iblis boasted about did not raise him, it caused his fall.